I went to Disneyland. I have been thinking a lot about how people cannot predict accurately what their future behavior will be. And Disneyland gives you 3 clear proof points of that. But before we go to Disneyland, let's talk about future behavior. So we do research. We do tons of research in my job. We do tons of research out in the marketing world and in the business world to figure out what customers will want, what they want to do, what they will do, what they think they'll do. And time again, they tell us the wrong thing. They don't lie, but they tell us the wrong thing. They say, yes, if I saw that product, I would buy it. If this movie is going to have this actor in it, I will go see it. This advertisement, no, I don't like that. It would not make me buy the product, even though the product is something I buy every Saturday at the grocery store anyway. People have no idea. They have no idea. They think in a focus group setting, they think they are supposed to give you an answer, or they want to be perceived by the other 12 people in the room a certain way, or they think the people behind the glass will have an opinion of them, either positive or negative, or that person understands us. We can't get that person. They're too smart for us. If they're filling out a survey, they play a mental game where they're trying to be consistent as they're answering the question. You can see it in the results. Or they're just going willy-nilly and they're just going, this one I'm going to say yes, this one I'm going to say no. It's not that people can't predict, but when we ask them to predict, it creates a bias in their minds, the observation bias, where they know someone's watching and that impacts their response, right? So for a long time, and in my first book, I've said, the expectation that people can tell you with any accuracy or any hope that what they're going to do in the future is bogus. You cannot go by that. You cannot plan for that. Don't ask them if they will buy it, if they will like the ad, if the ad will make them have a positive response, a better affinity for your brand. It's out the window. How can I prove this? With Disneyland. So Disneyland was built and designed very intelligently. It's laid out as a series of streets that connect different parts of the park. Different rides are all on these roads. And I can mentally navigate myself from one side of all the way on California Adventure through downtown Disney to Disneyland, right? I can mentally, if you told me how to get from one place to the other, I could walk and I could see it in my mind how to get from one place to the other. The same way I could see the trip from my house to my kids' school as I drop them off, because it's a series of roads with landmarks that are easy to navigate. Not to mention they give you this handy map, and I have an app and everything. In America, we stay on the right side of the road. The rightmost people are going the slowest. The center lanes are going the fastest, which is a little weird, but that's what we do. Any highway traffic, right? And in Disneyland, it's designed like roads. In fact, there's a ride there called Autopia that is the basis that was showing how great driving travel can be if we all follow some simple rules. And yet, nobody does that. The person pushing the stroller is going just right in the middle lane, and people are running past them up on the sidewalk, around them, or like jumping over bushes to get to where they want. And I'm no better. I'm not excused from this. If I'm walking with my 2 kids who said they want to get to this ride and I know I have a fast pass and I have to get there by X time, do I stay and say, no, I should stick to the right side of the road here and follow this? No, this is America. I cross over and jump bushes and pick my kids up and swirl them around, and I end up nose to nose with some other guy who is doing the same thing coming from the other direction. And it makes it a nightmare to get anywhere in Disneyland. Disneyland is a crazy place, but only because nobody understands that it's built following the same rules that you learn in driver's ed. Or just learn from going up an escalator. You stay to the right if you're not going to move. You can tell it was a long 3 days. So that's proof point 1, that people have no rational prediction of how they're going to act. Because if they did, everybody would stay in organized lines as they're trying to traverse the park and get to where they want to go. Number 2, before going to Disney, I am cheap. And I say, I'm not buying my kids anything at the park. The tickets are ridiculously expensive, and that should be enough. And when we get there, we're going to see stuff, and I tell my kids before, hey, just so you know, we're not going there to buy things. We're going there to have fun and have the experience. That's what we're going to do. But of course, my prediction of my human behavior is flawed. So even though I give them a lecture and I brag to my coworkers and I tell my parents, like, I'm not the sucker that does that stuff, when we're there and my son sees this hat that he wants, the wizard hat with the mouse ears, all right, you can have it. And now when I see my daughter later that day and she sees that he's got a hat while we were separated, well, she wants mouse ears. I'm going to, yes, honey, you can also have mouse ears. So now I'm out $55. If you would have asked me before, if you would have given me a survey, I would have said, no way. What are the chances you'll buy them a toy? 100% no. If you would have had me in a focus group, I would have said, well, the value is not there. The price of it is not worth the blah, 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 right? I would have rationalized it. Emotion drives everything. We're at Disneyland, and I want to see my kids happy for the entire 72-hour period that we're there. Every minute, if I can have them happy, and if you're a parent, you know that that's impossible, but still, I want the memory that I'm investing in to be a positive memory. And so when they see a churro at that right time, and they say, hey, Dad, can we get a snack? Do I really want to spend $8 on a churro? You bet I don't. But do I want my kids to smile? Yeah. Of course. And so my wife knows I'm a softie, and so there it is. The third one, the third proof point that people have no logical sense. I waited in line 40 minutes maybe to ride a roller coaster. Human beings are evolved to avoid danger. We are evolved to run away from things that could harm us. We are even evolved to run away from things that simulate that. And yet, not only did I get on a car that is really not safe, designed to go at a high rate of speed, but I waited in line to do it multiple times. Sometimes I was the beneficiary of single rider, which I don't know if you know this, but you scoot right around the front of the line on some of those 3-person rides. But I waited in that line, and I was not the only person. It was a 45-minute line. It was a long line. And actually, at Disneyland, 45 minutes is not so long. If you would have asked me, hey, would you get in a car with no driver that's going to go, what's going to feel like 90 miles an hour and feel like it's out of control? I would say, hell no, what are you, crazy? But there I was, not just doing it, in line, pay to stand in line to do it. This defies logic. This defies rational decision making. And yet here I was, I did it. So when you think about the next time you're going to do research and you're telling someone, hey, what are we really trying to learn? Don't try to predict human behavior. And when someone says, well, we could get a sense of it. You can't. You can get a sense of what people want to tell you, but you will not be able to get a true sense of their actual behavior. Perception, yes. Beliefs, yes. Future behavior, no. When given the chance, they will wander off that path, no matter how well designed it is, and try to cross over and jump the bushes, just like I did.